All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're exploring something so fundamental you probably don't even notice it's happening. We're talking about the very foundation of your reality, the architecture of sensation. This is the invisible process that connects you, moment by moment, to the world around you.
To get started, just take a second with me. Pause. And just notice, what information is your body actually picking up right this very instant? I mean, you're probably aware of the light from your screen hitting your eyes, right? And the sound waves of my voice reaching your ears. Maybe you can feel the pressure of the chair you're sitting in, or, I don't know, the temperature of the air on your skin.
All of that stuff, that incoming information, before your brain has a chance to label it or give it any meaning, that is what we call sensation. Think of it as pure, unprocessed data streaming in from your environment. So you can think of sensation as your absolute first contact with reality. Before we can figure out what something is, our body just has to register that something is there. It's the very first simple step to building our entire picture of the world.
So the official definition is pretty straightforward. It's the process where your sense organs, your eyes, your ears, your skin, all of that, receive some kind of stimulus from the world and then just pass those raw signals up to your brain.
And this right here is the absolute key. Sensation is all about detection. It is not, and this is important, it's not interpretation. Your eyes might detect a patch of red, but at this stage, they haven't recognized it as an apple yet. That comes later.
So how does this signal, whether it's light or sound or pressure, actually make that incredible journey from the outside world all the way into your brain? Well, it turns out it's a really fascinating 5-step process.
And to make this super clear, we're going to follow one specific example, the journey of seeing a simple red apple. We'll trace how light bouncing off it becomes a sensation inside your mind.
Okay, let's walk through it. Step 1, the stimulus. Light waves bounce off the apple. Simple enough. Step 2, those waves hit the receptors in your eye. Now for the magic part. Step 3, transduction. This is where your eye acts like a translator. It converts that physical light energy into a neural impulse, a language the brain can actually understand. Step 4 is transmission. That electrical signal travels along your optic nerve, like a message on a wire. And finally, step 5, brain registration. A specific part of your brain receives that signal and boom, it detects red. That's it.
So that's the whole process for just one single sensation. But of course, our bodies are running this show constantly, using 3 totally different data gathering systems all at once.
And here they are, broken down nicely. First, you've got exteroceptive sensations. That's data from the outside world. Then there's interoceptive sensations, which come from your own internal organs. And finally, we have proprioceptive sensations, which report back from your muscles and joints.
Exteroceptive senses are the famous ones, right? Vision, hearing, smell, taste, touch. These are our windows to the world out there. They let us detect everything from the words on a page to the incredible aroma of fresh coffee.
Now, interoceptive senses are all about monitoring the world in here. These are absolutely crucial for survival. They give your brain the raw data about things like hunger, thirst, or even that subtle feeling of your own heartbeat. It's how your body keeps everything in balance.
And then there's proprioception, which is so cool it's often called our 6th sense. This is the sensation of your body's position in space. It's the reason you can walk without staring at your feet, or why you can close your eyes and still touch your nose pretty much perfectly. Your brain just knows where your body is. But what happens when this incredibly complex data-gathering network gets a little glitchy? What happens when the signal gets distorted somewhere along that pathway? Well, that's when you get sensory disorders. For instance, hyperesthesia is an increased sensitivity where normal light might actually feel painfully bright. The opposite of that is hypoesthesia, a decreased sensitivity, like having a reduced ability to feel pain. Then you've got things like paresthesia. That's an abnormal sensation like pins and needles. And of course, anesthesia, which is the complete loss of sensation. And all of this brings us to the final and honestly probably the most important distinction we need to make here. It's the difference between just detecting a signal and actually understanding what that signal means. So let's circle back to our apple. Your sensory system has done its job perfectly. Your brain has registered the raw data, red, round, smooth. But that's just a list of features, right? How does your brain take that raw data and turn it into the single coherent idea of an apple?
Well, that next step, that incredible act of organizing and interpreting raw data to give it meaning, is called perception. This is the moment raw data becomes actual understanding.
Let's look at them side by side, because it makes it really clear.
Sensation is the basic process of detection, seeing a patch of red light. Perception is the much higher-level process of interpretation, recognizing that the red light is part of a car that's about to pull out into traffic. See the difference?
Look, if you only take one thing away from all of this, let it be this right here. It's a super simple but powerful way to remember it. Sensation is what you feel. Perception is what you understand. It's the raw input versus what you make of it.
And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought to chew on. Our entire experience of reality is built on this constant stream of sensory data. But if sensation is just the raw data, and perception is our brain's interpretation of that data, well, what happens when you start to question the data itself?